What's going on, everyone? This is your boy James, Grendel's Garage. We are back on the porting series. I believe this is going to be video maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe not that far. Anyways, very excited. We got a couple more tools. Just going to go ahead and start off. Got one of these bad boy files. Big old thick guy. Pretty excited. Just one up the tools. Kind of help us seal up our gaskets and stuff like that on our intake port and our exhaust ports. I can go ahead and finally get that on there and make a nice perfect seal so that way we can eliminate any air leaks. Not that I was ever having issues. I kind of ran it just a couple times, 1, 2, 3, and I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, you can kind of see the high and low points. These are the high points. That's going to be a low point where it's a little darker. Kind of interesting. And that was about 3 swipes, so you don't have to get crazy with it, but just to get it nice and silver, looking really good, so that way you know you're getting a very nice seal. Hence the file. Kind of a needed buy, super cheap, Amazon. It's not a double cutting file. Files only are the, I don't know what you actually call that on a file. Blade only goes one direction, and I think it's the same on both sides. I don't think it doesn't feel different on either side. If it is, it's minute. What else? Oh, guys, I was really struggling to look for parts because I think I told you we're going to go a different direction than this guy. This is the new one that came in that I told you about. Or if you guys have been following, I was going to try to get like an adapter with the new nibby carb. And it was going to be a little bit of a Frankenstein thing. I was going to bore this bad boy out and figure out some kind of like... It was going to be interesting, but I don't know. Anyways, these guys, the boys, Smolik Performance, the big dogs, came through again, and they literally just released this. I wish I would have got on the pre-order. I saw it. The finances just weren't there. And then the finances came, and then they came out with it. So I'm pretty excited. I'll go ahead and... get the personal information out of the way. This is going to be the money ticket, one for the Avenger. Looking forward. And then also potentially for this guy as well with the Wildcat 80. I am super excited for this. Super, super excited. All right. Just get in there. Come on. Whoa! Hold on, guys. Cameras are going everywhere. Well, jeez Louise. Alright, we just need to get one out. Alright, check this out. This is an intake manifold. CNC'd all out. Oh, look at that. Nice little reset right there so you can put a washer in. Oh, that was thought out. I didn't see that in the pictures. That was thought out, guys. Good job. You can put a washer, just sneak it right down and get that nice and... That was smart. I don't know if that's for an O-ring. I might have to look and see if you can if you want an O-ring there, or it's just for when it clamps down for your wire hose clamp. Maybe that just seals it up super good. Maybe that's more what it was for. But check this out, guys. Look at that. That is all ribbed up all the way up. All the way up. There's just one little tiny flat spot. You can kind of see it right there. But how cool is that? Not only that, but the way that they cut it, it ramps in. So it's bigger and it's going a little bit smaller, which is also going to help the airflow. What you're doing is you're pinching it. So once it gets around that pinch, you're actually creating a little bit quicker stream. Think about it like a stream, right? If you have your rapids and stuff like that, if it's a big wide stream, the water's moving slow. Once it's moving in and the river starts to pinch, that water moves faster. Same thing with the air. Same thing with the air here. It's a little bit wider, gets squished, and then especially with this ribbed, it's going to be agitated. It's going to get all stirred up. I always forget the other term right at the top of the head, especially when I get on the camera. And then it's going to, boom, blow right into there. Anyways, super excited. That's going to be money. It's going to be beautiful fit. Look at that hog. Might have to go back in there and reshape or port match it. I'll probably have to port match it too. You can see a little bit. I don't think it matters. I might have to double check and make sure. Looks exactly the same on both sides, I'm assuming, so. Cool. That's going to be a sweet piece. I got 3 of them. Couldn't resist. They were $35, I think. Alrighty. Looking forward, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to skirt the piston next. Got the Dremel. We got some oil. Just going to do a little dip. And we're just going to go ahead and go real quick. And yeah, that's all I know. Super excited, guys. Lots of stuff moving forward and having a lot of fun. So, alrighty, stay tuned. Alright, everyone, let's go ahead and cut into this bad boy. What I am doing is cutting off the blue. Pretty simple. I'm actually going to go ahead and I took the blue marker, marked on the side, and then I also marked what I think I need to take off on the back. So I'm actually going to hit these knobby things a little bit on the back first, and then we're going to go ahead and probably just all the way down and see how it goes. Should be interesting. Always a little nervous, but should be fun. Nothing to it but do it, right? Alright, let's get some oil going here. Get this camera going here. Hopefully this isn't a big waste of time turning this guy on, doing all this stuff, but you never know. Camera within camera. Camera within camera. And we're recording, I think. Okay, cool. So I noticed last time this guy's got to be pretty directly on, which is kind of a pain in the butt for that. You're gonna go to a more safe place. Actually, where should I put you all? Way back there, where I can't see you. Might have to upgrade and get a secondary camera for this kind of stuff. That isn't expensive, but it's better than the Casio 7 because this thing is not a bad camera until it comes to the audio. The audio is absolutely horrible. Gut-wrenching. Just gonna throw a bunch of oil on there. This thing's gonna spit spat. Should have thought about that before. I wipe this down actually with the camera there. It's got a little oil on it, right? Okay. How fast we going? I don't know how fast, bro. We're going 20 speed. Alrighty. Well, hopefully that did something. We did something right there. Super small line. Still have a little bit of blue on this side, but this side was a little bit lower, and that might have been when I went to go remark it, so I just kind of try to bring that up a little bit. We're just going to take a file, make it look nice, a little bit of a ridge right there you can kind of see. And that'll be it, guys. I'm going to do the file work off camera. I don't think you guys need to see me work on it with the file, so not bad. After this, it's going to be as simple as really putting the piston back on. We'll go ahead and put our cylinder back on, and we will get some more timings. So that's what, hopefully you guys stay tuned to. So, okay, stay tuned. Alrighty, everyone, we are back. And well, I went ahead and got all the readings. I started by torquing down everything with torque wrench. One thing that a lot of people put in the comments, and I did not know, also Kevin did a thing a while back when he was putting, or actually taking apart his engine, that beautiful engine that he made. What people were saying, what he was saying is go ahead and untorque your torque wrench once you're done, and it will save your wrench in the long term. So good news, because I was just going to leave it at 12 and walk away and call it a day. But now I know that, I'm going to go ahead and do that from now on, and it shouldn't have any issues. Anyways, long story short, guys, got all the numbers off camera, triple, quadruple, mega checked. We only had to check the exhaust port and the intake because we didn't play with the transfers, so that made it pretty easy. Let me go ahead and grab the Grendel's Garage notebook. Okay, so the intake now opens at 74 degrees. We're going to take that times 2, and we're going to get 148 degrees of exhaust duration. Transfers are going to be the same, so they're going to stay at the 54 degrees times 2 and 108 degrees of transfer duration. If we want to find our transfer blowdown, we're going to take our exhaust. Oh, I guess I wrote it twice over here. Let's go ahead and look right there. We're going to take our exhaust, which is 74 degrees, minus our intake, or excuse me, our transfer, 54 degrees. Subtract those, you're going to get 20 degrees of transfer blowdown. So what does that mean as far as the transfer blowdown? Well, we started at 18.5 degrees. That was with the one base gasket, I believe. We increased it because we did increase our exhaust opening. So we are now at 20 degrees of transfer blowdown. So we now have a longer blowdown rather than a shorter blowdown. So kind of interesting with that. Yeah, just kind of interesting. Our intake, since we put the skirt on, is going to be 62 degrees times 2. Gives us 124 degrees of intake duration. So our biggest takeaway, I think, is going to be our exhaust port is opening sooner, and we have now a longer transfer blowdown. Will be very interesting. What I found too when I was taking the readings themselves, man, with that mushroom shape and just how it opens up, as soon as that piston drops, man, it's just boom, all intake, and by the time it starts to whittle back down, it's like that exhaust has been open for so long for such that amount of time, and I think that's going to really help us. One thing was super interesting too, when I was going to try to go with the 2 base gasket and raise the cylinder up, our intake would have, or excuse me, our exhaust would have also opened at the 74 degrees. So that's also kind of interesting. So I have the exact same exhaust opening if I would have put another base gasket versus what I did with the porting. So technically I would have done the same thing. And in the long term, you don't want to raise your exhaust too much, because if you do, you're going to lose, you'll increase your RPMs from my understanding, but you're going to lose too much torque, and you got to make sure that you keep everything good. Ended up raising the exhaust more than I thought I was going to tell you the truth. So it could be super detrimental. Honestly, it could, or we just made the most bad Wildcat 80 out there. We'll see. Also, too, I did take the file. See if we can take a little look. See, it's a little bit harder. I did take a file to the exhaust right there. I completely washed the piston and the cylinder again after doing that. I've washed this cylinder about 30,000 times. Anyways, yeah, so that was a really good move. I think that's another 2-stroke porting and carb tuning. He said get a big-ass file and file them down, and I did. Maybe should have hit the exhaust port a little bit more. The intake looks pretty mint, though. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Got it a little bit better on that one, Jimmy. Cool. What else, guys? What else? That's about it, really. Super looking forward to this guy. That should be quite... I mean, just look at the difference. Look what we were going to try to do, and look what we might end at. This might be too much. This might be too much for the carb, especially not running a reed or anything like that. Just with the piston port. So we still might have to go with something like this. We'll see, or we'll just get like another adapter or something like that. But this is, man, this is just gonna be a game changer. And yeah, you know, like I said, I got 3, and one's definitely gonna find its way on the Avenger 85, and I gotta learn how to tune that carb. But what else, guys? I think that's about it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up with just ride safe, everyone. Have a lot of fun. And thank you so much for supporting us. It's been a lot of fun. There's so much going on. Bikes, 3 bikes, motors, everything. That's about it. Alrighty, stay tuned to next time, guys. Alrighty, everyone. We are back, and we are taking a look at piston ring gap. So just taking a look at a couple YouTube videos. Found this Chokyo off-road. He did a pretty good video of taking part of a new cylinder and getting some readings on some piston regaps. Anyways, what I took away from it, long story short, was that the max should be 0.4 millimeters and the minimum should be 0.25 millimeters to 0.33 millimeters. You guys let me know what you run. We're just gonna do this for now, just to see how it goes. Should be pretty fun. So far, I've gone through and I've conditioned a few rings, and I've gone through the kits that I bought a pack, so I think you guys saw a while back. And anyway, so there's 0. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's 0.4. This is one ring right here, and it is just barely too big. Let's go down to the next one. This thing's kind of tricky. Just got this like today. It's funny because I was really looking into it. Alright, so we can go bigger, or we should go smaller. Let's go 0.38. I looked through all my rings, a lot of my rings. I'm gonna say no, that doesn't fit either, so that's good. We're gonna go in the smallest we can, really, I think. Where do we at? 0.35. Alright. 0.35 goes in there pretty well. So we'll stick with this ring. This ring also measured about that. This is also like the other smallest ring I can find. So we'll stick with these 2 rings. If I run 2 rings, I'm really thinking about running 1 ring because of all the benefits. Watching the Tin Man and all the stuff that he does, he typically goes down to 1 ring. It makes a lot of sense. I think you'll have to replace your rings and keep on top of your rings a lot more. But from my understanding, with 1 ring, you get a lot less friction. And you're getting oil on both sides versus getting trapped in between. Right there, and creating heat. This one doesn't really seem to get like a lot of heat there. But that's kind of the thought process. Yes, you are going to lose some. I don't know what you'd even call that. You're going to lose a little bit of air movement and stuff like that. It's going to go back and forth a little bit through that lower one. But I don't think it's going to matter as much, man. Don't think it's going to matter as much. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. I'm considering it. We'll see final thing, but we're gonna go ahead and slap these rings on the cylinder, or excuse me, onto the piston, and it's a mess right now, but we're putting everything together now. Timing wheel is off, all that stuff. It's been a lot of fun doing that. I do recommend getting some gauges. These were just some cheapies off Amazon, already paid themselves off. I don't have to think about it. Alrighty guys, I don't know if this is the end of the video or if we're gonna keep rolling on to the next one. Just stay tuned, and if not, you'll see a little end thing. Anyways, thanks for all the support. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep this little guy going.